Alright guys, 2019 Ram 1500, 5th gen. Have a problem with the media in the truck. Basically, since I've owned it, since new, this Android Auto would be intermittent via the cable into this media hub or USB hub down here. Every once in a while, this would go blank. And it was kind of occasionally, and when I took it to the dealer, they wouldn't be able to replicate it, so they never repaired it for me or fixed it. As the truck's gotten older, and obviously it's out of warranty, it's getting worse and worse. And now it's every time I drive the truck. This works for a little bit, and then if I go around a corner or go over some bumps, it cuts out. Sometimes I can wiggle the cable here and get it working again, or sometimes if I just touch this cable, like if I have a cup here and this cable, there's a cable near it, and the cup disturbs the cable, it shuts the screen off. Anyway, so I have bought a part in an attempt to repair this issue. Here it is right here. Made in Mexico, of course. Mopar part. So this is basically that whole hub right here, and when I looked this up, the part number superseded several other part numbers, so I'm hoping this is an updated unit, and I'm hoping the problem is here and not somewhere else in the wiring harness. My best guess is that it's this hub because, again, when I jiggle this, the screen will shut off. So, yeah, so we got to pop off the center console and kind of get this back. The hub comes out with the center console. So once we get the center console removed, we should be able to have easy access to this. Okay, first off, we're going to remove this cover. There's two, one on each side. This is towards the front, and there's also two towards the back. And they just have a little flathead screwdriver. Pop that off, and there's a 10mm nut there that you have to undo. So get all four of these covers off, two in the front, two in the back, and then there's two side panels here that have to come off. I'm going to attempt to use this plastic bicycle wheel tool to get this cover off, and I think if I drop the glove box and come at it from the corner here, might be easier time. There we go. Okay, got that off. And there's a bolt there, and there's also another one on the driver's side, so you got to undo that as well. Okay, rear of the center console, the seat's all the way forward. Same thing. Alright, all the screws have been pulled out, or the bolts, and this easily just moves back. Pretty simple. And here is the part we need to get access to, so I'm kind of gonna crawl around the back here and see what's going on. I'm sure these just pull out somehow. There's nothing attached here, that's interesting. Usually there's a clip you push in. Oh, I can feel it on this one. So there's one. That plug looks just fine. Well, that's interesting. That's just like a micro USB. Well, what I thought would be super easy is turning out to be a bit of a chore. I had to take the whole console out, which is really easy. Just these two main plugs and all the screws we looked at earlier, and this just comes out, lifts out really easy. But no way to get this guy out, so I was prodding and pulling, trying to get these push levers depressed, but it just wasn't happening. There's no room to maneuver in there, so I started pulling out a bunch of screws. These are 7mm screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one in here, 7, and well, I guess I didn't take that guy out, so 7 of those. To undo this connector here from this CD player, then there's a plug down here you have to undo, and that pulls this whole assembly out. And I forgot to mention that these side rails, once you get some of the screws off, will just, if you pull on them, tug on them, they pop off. Alright, so here we go. Here was the problem. Basically have to depress these tabs, and there's this whole structure in the way, the screw mount clip thing, and this is just brilliant RAM engineering here. This whole assembly is in the way of that, and then you have to try to get between there to get those two out. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to achieve this, but I'm just going to mess around with this, and if I have success, I'll let you know how I did it. Alright, well, came out pretty easily when I have room to work with when we pulled this panel apart. Basically just took a flathead screwdriver in here and pushed down on these, and it popped out. I didn't have to mess with the top units, but let's have a look at the old guy here. See if there's a difference in part numbers. Here's the new one. How's this go? Like this. But the stickers are on different sides, so see the part number there ends in 7098 AD, or is that a B? Looks like an 8. And then the new one, completely different part number, ends in 2254 AE. So yeah, there you go. Put the new one in and try to get all this stuff put back together. Alright, everything's back together in the center console. This plate here with the CD player that I've never ever used, and the media hub or USB port, whatever you want to call it, that's in 7mm screws holding all that together. Side panels are back in place. They're snapped in, and one 7mm screw holds each one. And I took this opportunity while it was all apart just to clean it, so I blew it out with air with my compressor, and I was able to reach down in a lot of places that I could normally not get to when it's in the truck. So good tip there, just give everything a good clean while you have it apart. Since I got this center console out, this would be a great opportunity for me to get in here and try to vacuum out all of my ex-girlfriend's old hair. Alright, so the center console is kind of back in place here, and I'm just going to go ahead and plug in the wiring. So this was the actual USB port. So we got the big one there, and the middle one was blank, and then this guy goes in there like that. Then we have kind of the main harness back here, and I believe that guy goes in there, and this guy goes in here, and then there was this little push pin thing that you have to push back in here, but I need to come forward more. I just push the center panel forward a little more. Okay, so that push pin's back in, and we're just going to push this all the way forward and start putting our screws back in. We're all buttoned up, so we got the new USB hub media center thingy installed. Screen's on, everything's good so far, but usually I have the problems when I'm driving. So I'm gonna, go out for a drive, go get a coffee or something, and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, bad news. So I went through all of that, and same thing happens. I lose Android Auto if I just jiggle the cable. So I don't know. I mean, obviously I've tried a bunch of different cables, different phones. Same thing. If anyone knows what's going on with this freaking thing, if anyone's got a cure for this, let me know. Because I just went through a whole rigmarole and didn't solve my problem. Major, major bummer. I guess on the plus side, I did manage to get some of my ex-girlfriend's hair out of the truck.